All right, I should be live. If you're able to see me live, let me know. Let me just quickly check. This is actually a very impromptu live because of something that I'm seeing come up in our analytics on the website. So I wanted to actually create this live to be on Facebook because I do know that we do have a community here. So perhaps this could be something you guys would like to hear a little bit more about. So let me just quickly check. Yes, I am live. I haven't been live on this profile for a while. So it's an audio live. I've actually discovered this through LinkedIn. So feel free to listen to me in the background if you're able to listen to it. And if you're watching this later, well, kudos. Fantastic. So, sorry, I don't know, change of weather. Winter, I think it's fall. Fall is here. So my throat is a bit, as a little bit of an issue. I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible. I don't really like talking much and unnecessarily. If anything I say here seems interesting and you maybe want to discuss this a little bit further, feel free to DM me, send or perhaps use the link to send me a mail to book a consultation with myself and the team, and we're going to like hammer and yapper on this whole subject. But one of the things is actually not one of the things. A lot of the hits that we've been getting on the website is around coaching business failures, which is something that I believe for the past year and a half I've been discussing, actually even more than that, and sustainability and scalable coaching business models. So I wanted to kind of like hit that on the nail a little bit and discuss this topic so that there's some perspective, especially in the social media space, because I believe that the online space can be a little bit delusional. Not a little bit, I think a lot, quite a lot delusional. But if you're the type who's certainly, and this is relatively, whether it's a coaching business or a consulting business, because we've been getting these hits on the academy side of the business. So obviously, I'm saying coaching because that's a lot of the conversations that are there. But if you are kind of tired of the handless hustle and grind, and you kind of want a coaching and consulting business that's not just a flash in the pan, and you want something sustainable and scalable, that's what we're going to talk about. And especially if you're no longer into the hamster wheel that a lot of people tend to be stuck here around trading time for money, then this conversation is going to be something that you're going to want to stick around and listen to. Otherwise, we all good. So, what am I noticing? Speaking to with people, prospect clients, and just even like looking at the heats of the conversations that are happening. What are the articles? What are the search terms, the search intents that are behind a lot of the searches that I have? One of the things that I'm realizing is that a lot of people are either on the verge of burnout. They're really on the verge of burnout because a lot of the articles that they are really searching for is around that particular topic. But it's also the fact that they're talking about sustainability, scalability, as well as system and processes. And one of the things that I'm realizing, even when I've spoken with people, is the lack of systems and processes. And when I mean system and processes, I know it's like, oh my gosh, don't tell me SOPs. And I don't really speak about SOPs that much because one of the things I've realized, and this is something that I've lived through myself, if you create SOPs on their own and you do not have something that gives people that work with you a perspective in terms of the strategic of the site, you actually trap yourself into day-to-day operations. This is why one of the things that I preach highly around is playbooks and having the playbooks to go with the SOPs so that instead of people coming to you with their questions when it comes to their tasks, they actually turn to the SOPs. So one of the other thing that I am seeing that is leading to this whole thing of coaching business failures and consulting business failures that are happening in conversations, it's plateaued income. So despite what you see on social media, you'll find that a lot of the people that are telling you that, oh, I only work 2 hours a day, because there's this particular platform that you can install a code on your website, and you can track who actually has been on your website. You will realize that a lot of those people are the ones that actually even hand up all those searches. It's because what they are seeing is that they are putting a lot of long hours, really working hard, but the income is stagnant, and they have failed to grow at the pace that they wanted. And that has led to limited scalability. So they're struggling to scale their business beyond a certain point. And I call this the revenue point of failure, where there are two plateaus that I've seen, and I was discussing it the other day, was one of the speakers that is going to speak at the conference in Nigeria. And this is somebody that has scaled to $500 million. And when I was asking him about the plateaus that he had experienced as well, and it's funny because it's something that you realize that happens quite often. The plateaus that are usually 350 to 500, and then you have the 1 million to 3 million where people get stuck. So beyond those points, they've been experiencing constraints, and the main reason I believe these things are happening for a lot of the online coaches, the creative business owners. It's often because they have this lone wolf syndrome. I believe that everybody's preaching online. You don't need a team, you don't need support, you don't need this. And that has led to a lot of people being scared of delegating. So many entrepreneurs in this online business space actually are believing the fact that they are the only one capable of delivering their services effectively, and and that is leading to them being reluctant, even when they have people to support them. They're reluctant to delegate tasks and responsibilities. Now, when we talk about delegation, because a lot of people, when I speak to prospects and clients and just in the business owners in general, the one thing they will tell you is that I don't really like being having a team, because when I hired a team, then I ended up having to coach them, manage them, and do all that jazz, and then I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do. The main problem with that ideology is actually the fact that you hired wrong. What I've noticed that is not maybe a lot of people are not cognizant to is that in the online space, especially for small business owners, I haven't seen that as much in the textile space, which we also work with. But in the small business owner, creative business space, the tech-enabled businesses, what happens is that most people start their businesses with the intent to make an income and a revenue. So you start your business for that, you start making an income, things are getting out of hand, then you start to hire. But you are hiring from a space of, I need some time off, I maybe need people to take things off of my plate. So people that you are hiring are there to help you and remove things out of your plate, but not necessarily remove the responsibility of driving your vision. And that is often the problem, because then you remain as the chief strategist in the business, both like at the strategic level and then at the tactical and operational level, which leads to people continuously coming to you when they have questions or they have concerns or they don't know how to do what they are doing. So that's how you end up being the manager of the business, because you in the first place hired wrong. Because when you're hiring people, there are three sets of people. There are the doers, and you have the followers, and you have the experts. So a lot of online business owners hire doers and they hire the followers, and the followers are the one that you hire that you give them the SOP and they're gonna do everything that you according to the SOP. At least that's what you believe. They're gonna follow through the SOP, and then you have the doers. Then it's just, let's say, the professional, the account executive, the closer that you bring on board, or something of the sort. But these people do not have the strategic insight to drive your vision, the vision for the business, which ends up with, that's where you end up having to do everything and running the show. And this is often led by a scarcity mindset, because a lot of the time most people think that they cannot afford to bring on experts, which is what is needed to actually remove yourself from day-to-day operations so you can grow your business. So that scarcity mindset, because you just feel like maybe there's not enough money, there will never be enough money, there's not enough business to go around, and maybe investing in the right people, investing in marketing, investing in branding is too risky. This particular reason that you actually give for not making investment is ironically the main problem and the main result, like what it leads to limited growth for your business. Because when you are at this type of stages, the mindset you should have, and I believe that all online business owners should borrow this mindset from the tech startup space, is that you should focus on the ROI. So the thing is, like obviously with conferences, you're trying to make sales, you approaching sponsors, you're going after banks, you're going after different sponsors, different partners. And the one thing you realize when you approach a bank, whether it is a smaller bank or bigger bank, the main question that they ask you is, what's in it for me? How do I benefit from this? How does this benefit the company? And how does this improve our goals for the future? And that's the same mindset that all small businesses should also have when it comes to making investments. And the other thing that I've noticed is also the problem around perfectionism. And I think primarily in female business owners, where they believe that everything must be perfect before taking action, and that actually leads to procrastination and you not actually taking up the opportunities for growth and innovation. And these problems that are leading to that are creating the mess you find yourself in, that leads to this attrition. Because what if actually your business dying, or your coaching business failing? What does that even look like? Because we kind of have to discuss what that looks like. And for you to even realize that, okay, my business is dying, it's failing, you need to start looking at certain things, certain symptoms, because just like a doctor, you need to use your doctor's glasses when you're looking at your business and not be attached to it as if it is your child. And the first thing that you realize is that obviously revenue stagnant, you're not really growing. You will see you losing clients. You're losing a lot of clients. As much as you're signing new clients, you're losing as many in the back end. You're not really retaining clients. So your business is stuck. You're kind of spinning your wheels. You're like really just sitting in one place, turning around, around, kind of like in a labyrinth when you're not going anywhere. So that's usually what most businesses are looking like, especially the coaching businesses. And one thing for you to shift from that being in that space to where your business is a lot more sustainable and scalable, obviously you need to start making the necessary belief shifts, but also start making the right investments. You need to start making the right investment in creating the type of teams that you need. And I believe that the biggest problem that I've seen is listening to people instead of actually thinking through the vision that you are trying to build for yourself. Because I'm not the expert in your business that you're building. I'm giving you perspective, obviously from an operator, obviously from somebody working with different businesses. However, by all means, you need to decide what is the type of business that you want to build. But you need to understand that if you do not make these choices, especially if you keep listening to people that's telling you, okay, you need to run your business like this, you need to build your business like this, you need to do this. You are the one who lives through the how. So let me give you an example. A lot of businesses, especially coaching businesses, um, start one-on-one. So you have your one-on-one, and then suddenly, because you want to scale, you are told that no, this one-on-one is not scalable. You are stuck, so you go and you start group coaching programs. But the biggest issue that nobody tells you that if you are changing your business model like this, you should also look at changing the way the product is delivered. Nobody tells you that. And what happens to a lot of coaches? Then they are the one rendering the one-on-one, because obviously you have a higher tier that might be $50,000 a year or something of the sort. You're rendering those one-on-one, and then you're also rendering the group coaching program. So both of these programs are dependent on you as the founder to deliver. And though this is like initially really great to connect with clients and really provide the personalized support and to make your business feel premium, it actually leads to a ton of problems down the road. Because eventually what happens is that you become overwhelmed with delivering the one-on-one and group coaching sessions. And even when you try to bring on new coaches, your clients, your students do not want that. And they want to only work with you because obviously this is from the marketing to the product, it is you. And that causes them to really be like, no, in order for me to get results, I have to work with Tanya, for example, particularly Tanya. Now, one of the problems that causes is that you now have limited time or even the energy to start looking at the different aspects of your business that you need to grow or scale, which that will be the marketing, the strategy, the growth, whether it's organic growth, marketing and sales, or any growth through acquisition, which is inorganic. You have no time to really think of the long term of your business. And now, because you are essentially the sole provider of the coaching services, truthfully, unless you've figured out how to use some kind of magic, there's a natural limit to how many clients you can take on at once, whether it is on one-on-one or group coaching, because your energy is gonna get sapped, and you still want to give run the best services. So this lack of scalability makes it challenging to grow the business beyond those points of death of revenue, and that will be the 350 to 500,000 or the 1 to 3 million. In order for you to grow past that, it's really challenging, because especially if you are the linchpin of the business, essentially, because you can't grow past that without actually sacrificing quality or burning out at that point because of that. And like I think I alluded to earlier, you create a situation where clients are overly dependent on you to support them, and that leads to a bottleneck in the business, because you are a limited resource. And if in the event you are unavailable for any reason, you get sick, God forbid, you get in an accident, or maybe you went on holiday and there is a storm and your internet is down, it will disrupt the entire coaching operation and leave clients feeling abandoned. And when you start looking at a lot of the complaints that a lot of people have against coaching program. Coaches, I paid a premium for this coaching program and this and that. I wasn't satisfied on how I was being taken care of. This is the reality of it. So if you're recognizing yourself, I actually want you to check for a couple of things because even before I work with anybody, if you haven't done the inner work and especially the mindset work, because that's where the problem is, if you have not done the mindset work to remove yourself and to remove the attachment that you have to the business in terms of where you attach your value to the business, it's really difficult for us to work with you. So some of the other things that I've noticed in clients that are finding themselves in these situations when they feel like their coaching businesses are failing and they're really craving for that space where they have a sustainable and scalable business and they have the freedom that you really initially wanted to they launch their business for, is that at the heart of it, their self-worth is tied to the delivery of the service. There's this inherent belief that the value, their value as a coach or a consultant, is directly tied to their ability to deliver the service personally, which is leading to the reluctance to delegate or scale the business. That is one of the biggest problems that I've seen. And this is caused by a fear of losing control. So you fear delegating, you fear bringing on coaches to take this over. Because even if you bring on coaches and it's not, I mean, I guarantee you, if you bring on coaches now to take over your group coaching programs, the first or the second group of people, it's not going to be the same as to when you are delivering the service. But most of the time, what happens is that the kinks need to be worked out. But a lot of the farmers will not allow us to allow people to work through the kinks, so we can find an element. They'll be like, no, 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 I need to jump back in and stuff. So that fear of losing control, or and the fear of expanding the business, essentially, is actually what results to the reluctance of letting go of the reins of the business because they fear the loss of control over the quality of the services provided, which is obviously understandable. But this goes back to bringing the right people, the right team members on the team. Because if you bring the right people on the team, the next problem that you usually have when you lack the confidence in others to deliver the services will not be there. Because a lot of the coaching business owners have this problem where they believe that no one can deliver the services as effectively as they can, which actually also leads to a reluctance to hire and train additional team members, which keeps them trapped in the day-to-day operation, and that's why they can't scale. So it's really important that you start, if you recognize yourself in this, you need to start challenging these type of beliefs that you're holding. Some are subconscious, some are conscious, some you can they actually, I believe, on autopilot in your brain. So you can recognize them as I'm listing them, but you gotta challenge those beliefs and start adopting a more strategic and scalable approach to your business. And you need to be willing to start leveraging system processes and actually bringing on people so you can create those sustainable and scalable coaching model that doesn't rely solely on you for the delivery. Because right now, if you are honest with yourself, every morning actually feels like you're scrambling just to keep the business afloat. You are overwhelmed with client demands. This is what I'm hearing. You are juggling one-on-one sessions, group coaching programs, and you don't even know, like, there's no end in sight. And then obviously you neglect everything else, and you just pour your energy, your time into client delivery. This this is beautiful for the clients, and I understand that. But the reality is also it serves to rob you of the predictability and sustainability that you crave in your business. So, ironically, you are the creator of the vicious cycle of overwork and underachievement for your business, and you have very little room for growth in the business because of the situation that you're creating. So, your dream is of creating a beautiful business, freedom in all aspects of your life, but you've been unable to build a thriving business that actually runs like a well-oiled machine, and you've been stuck on obstacle because you've been unwilling to let go. These are the things that I've noticed, and these are the inner challenges that needs to be undertaken if anybody, whether you're a coach, whether you run an agency, whether you run a community, a membership, you need to undertake to move the business along and actually create a sustainable and scalable model. So I just wanted to quickly share that. I think I've been here for almost 30 minutes, and hope that's going to help somebody. I'm gonna see if I'm going to figure out a schedule to have these more often. But yeah, if you're a business owner, you're a coach, a consultant, or an agency, or you have a community, think about these things that I said. I want you to really think about it, and actually, I want you to really think about what you're trying to create and challenge the beliefs that you are holding. What are the beliefs that you're holding around being on a team? You'll also challenge those beliefs. Where is the proof that what you are believing is a reality? Because what is for sure and what is certain is that if scaling a business is uncomfortable, your brain is going to do the best of the best thing you can do, and that's even okay, to actually ensure that you stay comfortable. So, what are the stories that you are telling yourself around building and scaling a business? What are the stories? And you need to ask yourself, why do you believe that that is true? And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM. I'll be more than willing to chat a little bit more with you. And on this note, I hope you have a beautiful day and a great rest of the week. Feel free to drop me any questions you have in the DMs. And if you feel that you would like some support on maybe identifying what are your specific bottlenecks, feel free to DM me and I'll set up a time with you to maybe have a chat and see how we could support you, or what maybe just help you identify what are your bottlenecks and where you want to go. And if there's alignment, of course, we will tell you on the best way we could support you. But if there isn't, we'll definitely point you in the right direction, which might not be us. On this note, see you in the next. See you when I see you. Hopefully, I'll try to do this more often. Bye.